Germany #1, no doubt about that. You can't displace them. The World Cup alone is a huge,
massive. But then they lost to Argentina in the friendly at home.
It's a massive point for Germany. Winning the World Cup is a massive point. Argentina is second, Colombia third, Netherlands is fourth, Belgium fifth, Brazil sixth, Uruguay seventh, Spain 8, France 9, and of course Switzerland then 10th position. The top 10 playing countries in the world.
All right, so that's what it looks like. The top 10 for the world, and we hope that one day Nigeria will get back into being in the top 5 like it was in 1994. Well, Dumnodi, before we read a few comments on Twitter, there's an interesting story that's making the round about wrist watches. Dumnodi Okonta has been telling me all about it. Dumnodi, what's this on the screen? I know this is a very expensive wristwatch, but what is the story about it? FIFA, the Brazilian FA, at loggerheads over wristwatches given out to some people at the World Cup.
Into this matter.
FIFA Ethics Committee?
Yes, they're investigating this matter. This watch is called Samba Madeira. It's called Petting Tourbillon Samba Madeira. It's manufactured by Parmigiani Furia. It's a Swiss-based wristwatch manufacturing firm. And
Swiss watches are very expensive. How much is this watch going for?
Well,
if you want one.
First, the Brazilian FA said it's $8,750. While FIFA Ethics Committee conducted an independent investigation on the cost, they said it's £16,000
for one.
For one.
So this one, what you're seeing on the screen is £16,000.
But you know the drama. 28 FIFA Executive Committee members and 37 others were given these watches. Why did 32 FAs, the associations that qualified for the World Cup?
Nigeria one of them.
No, Nigeria one of them. They gave them the bag, like an amper.
Okay. Or a bag. And the wristwatches were inside?
Were inside. They took it home.
So what was the problem with it?
The English FA said they were not aware that there's wristwatch in it. But people said it's in those wristwatches.
If it is just basic courtesy, I mean,
no, it's just like thank you for coming.
What's the problem with that? Brazil have already hosted the World Cup, and the World Cup is already over, so they are not looking for any favors.
But the beauty of this is that the World Cup, inside it, is like there's an engrave of the Brazilian FA logo inside it. So it means it's specially made for the World Cup.
Custom made for the World Cup.
For the World Cup. And of course, it was being given by one of the paper sponsors, Eyebrow, it's a timekeeper.
So why is FIFA complaining about it? Why
not FIFA complaining?
Of course, you know, they don't want gifts.
They don't want gifts. They say, of course, FIFA's ethics rule says you don't collect gifts of that nature from sponsors, whatever, because they are still under the spotlight. They are still under search for the World Cup, the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, the controversy surrounding that, whether gifts have been money exchange, and so it's still in the high of the storm. But I'm beginning to imagine 32 altogether after they did the whole calculation,
the valuation of the
excess of $1 million for the wristwatches.
$1 million.
Association that qualified for the World Cup, 37 others, and 28 FIFA Executive Committee members.
$1 million. All right, for those wristwatches. Anyway, we'll see what
but
comes.
One is £16,000.
One is £16,000. £16,000 is how much? Like
for our viewers, punch your calculator.
Don't try to calculate in naira what that will come to. But I'm sure if I was in Brazil, if I had gotten one of those wristwatches, wow, I won't tell you what I would have done with them. But that's the story really about those very expensive Swiss wristwatches and the FIFA Ethics Committee. Let me read a few comments on Twitter. This is an interesting one coming from Tokwe Bankole. It says, Dumnodi, you should be given the national honor as well. It says I should be given. Our time will come. Dumnodi, what can we say? Our time will come. Don't worry. Thank you, Tokwe Bankole at Bankole Tokwe. Our time will come. One day, fortune will smile on us, and Mr. President will remember us. That let's give this
remember the chairman of Channel Television.
Okay. At Raymond Lord says, is Alhaji Aminu Megeri on the list? Well, I didn't see his name on that list. Maybe I'll do a recheck.
But at least this said.
But the sportsmen that we saw on that list are the ones that we have highlighted for you. At Benga 390 says, I think Super Eagles coach Stephen Keshi should also be honored as he won the Nations Cup after 20 years of waiting. National honors for Keshi. That was 20. That should have been last year.
Last year. They got the Super Eagles coach. The Super Eagles.
I think they got the award.
Yobo got the award. Keshi got the award. But Keshi is still an MON.
But there should have been an upgrade. I'm not very sure. I think the coaches got the award last year.
Yobo was listed for an MON award
last year.
Last year.
Okay, we'll do our checks and come back and tell you all about it. But I'm sure Keshi and Mokachi, because I saw a picture of Mokachi receiving one national honor. We will do our check. Maybe tomorrow we'll let you know about it, if they got rewarded for the Nations Cup success or not. Desti Down 2012 says, giving national award is quite commendable, but remember that abroad it is worth more than money, but here national awards are not. I don't agree with you.
Well, it depends on who is receiving it. If the person who sent in that tweet is being named was there, the person will jump the first flight tomorrow.
It will be there.
It will be there.
Well, I think these things are a lot more worth more than
what I a lot of people say is it has been watered down, but the fact is that it depends on what you see from national award. If you take, it's just like getting a degree certificate. So people don't see as anything. Other sees as big deal. So it depends on what you get from it.
Babatunde Adeboa at Lekondi says, any sports journalist on the award list? Well, not yet. We didn't see. He's a media officer of the Golden Eagles. He's a sports journalist. Yeah. So when media officers win medals with their teams, they get rewarded. All right. So that's the reward for being with a successful team. But we hope that most sports journalists, based on their work and what they're doing for Nigeria, will one day begin to get recognition like what we're seeing right now with the national honors by Mr. President. It's time for us to go on a quick break. Dumnodi, thank you so much for your time. We'll go on a quick break. When we return from this break, my next guest will come in. We'll be talking about the special football event that comes up every year. It's a special kind of football. It's Copa Lagos. Samson Adamo will be joining me on Sports Tonight in a moment.
Cruz. Carrick wins it back. Great play again from Valencia. Eyebrow with the shot. He scored! Patrice Evra gives Manchester United the precious away goal. Oh, it's game on now in Munich. Evra''s last and only previous Champions League goal was 7 years ago.